Hi. Well, my first moldiversary passed 2 days ago, and I didn't even realize it. I was 1 month out of mold 2 days ago. Yay. Um, so, I think I last reported from the truck stop in Cortland, New York. I slept there in the back of my car. I felt very safe. The guy who was at the register, the manager, said, "Oh, you can sleep here," and he was really nice. So anyway, I got up in the morning and I was like, okay, where am I going? What am I doing? And I have a friend who has a friend who's a really, really good friend who sells and fixes cars in South Carolina. So I'm like, well, maybe I'll just head that way, even though my car is still compromised. It's still leaking, very slow leaking, power steering fluid. So I have to keep adding that to it. And so what I did was I looked at the route. And I tried to figure out, okay, how far can I get in one day? I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 hours driving. So I picked a spot along the route in Pennsylvania called Codorus State Park. It's very close to River Valley Ranch, where I worked for 3 summers and loved that place and loved those people. And really would love, my heart wants to go over there and visit and say hi, but I know that really it's not a good idea for me because I'm risking all kinds of exposures, and I really just need to focus on one thing right now, and that's my health and following God, obviously. But so so this is my campsite. It's a mess right now. My tent's upended because when I woke up this morning, I had my tent, all my stuff's out of my car. So I put my tent right about here because it looked like the higher spot. Now I'm thinking I probably should have put it over there. The first thing I did was hung up my laundry because when I took a shower at the truck stop, I brought my trusty bucket in with me and washed some laundry, and it was wet in my car. So that was priority number 1, get that drying. And so I was exhausted, obviously, but I'm pretty happy. I knew I needed some supplies. So what I did was I looked along the route, and I stopped at a Walmart, and I used the app, and I ordered what I needed, and I scheduled the pickup, and I stopped at Walmart in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and picked up my supplies, and then continued from there to here, which was another 45 minutes. It was just like, it was the longest 45 minutes of my life. So, as I'm driving along, when I drive past like woods and rocks and trees, I put the windows down. Then when I drive past buildings, which I know are probably moldy, I'm putting the windows up. So but I'm just trying to lessen the contamination as much as possible, I guess. So when I got here, the guy was really nice. These are the primitive campsites, which obviously that's what I want. I want to be away from people. I want to be around, trees. So I came up here last night and I got set up, and I did my meetings, and I called some friends, and I settled down okay. And I don't feel like mold brain here, but I feel a weird, like almost like a tremor in my hand. And I don't know if it could be a combination of exhaustion from yesterday. I don't know, detoxing from the mold hit. So anyway, one of the big things that my friend Evie is always telling me is to shower every night. Make sure I shower every night to decontaminate before I get into my sleeping bag, get into my tent. So I drove down at late, oh my gosh, I want to say it was 10. It was 10. And I drove down to the bathhouse, and I walked in, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I walked in, I went to the bathroom. I was in there 2 seconds, and I was like, it's moldy. I looked up, and the bathhouse itself is made of some sort of material, but the roof is wood, and I couldn't stay in there. It was too moldy, and I got, all those feelings, the confusion, blah, blah, blah. So I got out of there as quick as I could and came back here, and now I'm like, great, I can't shower. Now I have mold on me. How am I going to decontaminate? So I just put some water in, my little pan. I boiled the water with a couple drops of Dr. Bronner's and, got in my car and, washed up the best I could. And I also have this decon spray, and I sprayed that on me and on my clothes. And so it was the best I could do. I didn't fall asleep till about 1:30. I slept solid till 7:30. So that was pretty good. And not really enough. I really need more. But when I woke up, the sun was out, and I looked at the bottom of my tent, and it was really damp. And even so, it got cold in the middle of the night. So one of my tricks is those Mylar emergency blankets. When I get cold in the middle of the night, I'll put one over the top of my sleeping bag. But when I woke up this morning, it was like really damp because of, I'm thinking, my breath, the condensation. I don't know. So maybe that's not a good idea to do that anymore. I'm not sure. But there was definitely moisture coming up from the ground, and the bottom of my tent was damp. And so it was like red alert, red alert. So I got up, I unstaked the tent. The footprint was soaked. So you saw I upended the tent to dry the bottom of it. It's pretty dry now. The footprint, so I had one of the things that Evie recommended was getting a drying rack. So I bought that. I had picked that up in Harrisburg. So I sat and put it together, and I've got the footprint over top of that drying right now. But so yeah, drying out is a huge thing in mold avoidance. That's why that clothesline has been invaluable. Now that little rack will be invaluable. So now what am I going to do? So I don't want to stay here because I don't feel terrible here, but I don't feel great here. It's not like healing great, So I think my trajectory really is south and west, south and west, south and west, just little by little, inch by inch. I really don't know what I'm going to do about my car yet. I'm just praying about it and just keep babying it. And, I might get to South Carolina to Bogdan's garage and just have him fix it and just keep going south and west until I figure out what I'm doing. I don't know. I have a friend in Montana. He has quite a few acres where I can camp. I've known him for 30 years. So, I don't know. I might end up there. Who knows? I have no idea. I don't even know. I don't know how I would feel there. So for tomorrow, what I did was I said, okay, I want to go to Monongahela. I think that's the way you say it. It's in West Virginia. So that's where I'm going to go. I'm just drying everything out and gonna eat and stuff. And I made another Walmart order because, of course, I invariably forget things and need other things. So there's a Walmart 13 minutes from here. So I ordered with the app. So at noon, I'm going to pick that order up, and then I'm going to set out for Monongahela, which is about a 4-hour and 45-minute drive. Again, it's a pretty long drive. But you know what, I've done a little research about West Virginia, and here's what I'm thinking. The guy said I don't even need a reservation. They're open. They have showers at the Spruce Knob. I think that's the one where I called. They have showers there, so I'm like, yay. I still haven't ruled out Planet Fitness. I may still stop in there and get a membership so that would be just another resource of a place to shower. And not that expensive, really. $25 a month for the Black Card membership, which means that you can go all over the United States. And they also have red light therapy there, which might be interesting for me because I've heard a lot of people say that it's good for detoxing. So that's if I can tolerate the chemicals in there, and I just haven't felt high enough on the power curve to take a chance of being mentally impaired, because that's what happens when I'm exposed to those type of cleaning chemicals. Specifically, Pine Sol has really done a number on me. I mean, I will breathe in that Pine Sol and I will be suicidal on and off for 3 hours after breathing in that lemon Pine Sol. I know it's not me. I know it's just an action of the chemical on the brain, almost like a side effect when you take a pill. And so I just, I just suck it up, but it's not pleasant, and it's not something that I want to experience. I don't really have a good mask. I just have a couple masks that I put over, like those, throwaway charcoal masks that I put over my face to try to insulate myself from chemicals. But I think that's something that I'm going to have to, I think Mary mentioned a P100 mask. You have to off-gas them for a while. So that's definitely on my radar of something that I have to get. So that's what's going on today. And I'm excited actually to go to West Virginia. I've never been to the Blue Ridge Mountains before. And any mountains are good, So, oh yeah, and this is right by a lake. I can't even think of the name of the lake. And then, so last night when I start Googling, I don't know why I just lowered my voice. Nobody's around here. Oh crap. My thing just blew over, so I'm going to have to go pick it up. Anyway, I read that this lake here was like, they called it the Inky Stinky, and that, it was polluted by by a paper company or something, and they've done a lot of work to get it, cleaned up, and the fish in the waterfowl are bouncing back, and I'm like, oh, great, So I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just tired, but I just feel like it's not a place. I wanted to stay here and rest for a couple days, but no, I don't feel that restful feeling. I know that sounds elusive, but it's the best I can do. With mold avoidance, I've been told over and over and read it over and over, you have to go by how your body feels. So, alrighty, well, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'd like to raise awareness, but also I'm trying to figure out how I can put links below and people can, I'm running out of money, and I would like to maybe be able to have people, like products that I talk about and things that I talk about on this journey that could help other mold avoiders. I think there's a way I can put links, and then if people buy that from my link, then I get a teeny tiny amount of money, which it's not going to be, a lot, but it's kind of it's like passive income, and I don't know. I feel like that's better than begging people for money all the time, because I haven't done that yet, but I have a feeling I might have to someday. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out getting a laptop and getting another remote job, and I will do that. Just right now, I'm literally just surviving. So, all right. Well, thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell so you know when I put a new video up. All right. God bless.